Full of greatness, pigment, melanin, courageous, genderqueer to spirit trends, elevate us across the land. Beautiful beings, welcome. I would like to take a moment of silence for all the genderqueer people, the intersex people. Thank you for being authentic to yourself and offering your brilliance and greatness and authenticity to all of us, the rest of the world. My first name is Kuwa Jasiri. My pronouns are the one and this one, and I steward the grassroots organization Authentic Creations Publishing Apothecary. I woke up just ablaze, and partly because I'm just like, I want to participate, and partly because I'm like, why are we not at least acknowledging that this happened? So I want to do a critique of the FX show Pose, and I know critiques aren't usually my thing, but I just need to say some stuff. So one, I usually find critiques both on YouTube and off YouTube, like written journalism type things, so that happens. And I have only looked at YouTube for Pose, and mostly this came out of a dream. I've definitely had this same dream before, just like vindicate Miss Candy, okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So in general, the show is amazing. You want to know about the culture, the nuance, it's there, right? But there's some things that are missing. Okay, so one missing is genderqueer people, intersex people. There's like one they pronoun that lasts like a second, and if you're not in a space where alternative pronouns are used, you can miss it, right? And so that was a little bit discouraging. Definitely not a reason I stopped watching a show, but definitely discouraged. And like, there's so much to highlight, like the lesbian, the gay, the trans, and I'm like, other of us exist, since the first creation story, we exist, and I would like to be acknowledged. At this point, I'm gonna have to watch some Billions just to get some representation, right? That's a pale person. So that definitely irks me. Another thing amongst this brilliant show that irks me is the dark-skinned folks being mean to Miss Candy, and not just regular mean, just like outlandish scenes of like, you're nothing, just like saying, one being from Electra, her mother, her like non-biological house mother in this show, is so mean to her, and like more mean than any other kid, and Miss Candy is just like wanting respect, basic respect, right? The other women get it, everyone else is getting it, I want some basic respect, which I get that. I need some basic respect, right? And I'm going to be out loud and proud to get it. So that's like maybe, just where my story touches, and I'm like, why isn't enough people being like, this is not okay, right? The Latinx community totally embraces Miss Candy. They might not be her best friend, even though a Latina is. They just blatantly respect her, like, go out in the world and get yours, you deserve it. And then the other person, pray tell, is the like announcer of the ball scene, and just so many things. Miss Candy's like, I want to do this, and instead of just being like, no, next, he's like, big dramatic, like, you ain't nothing, I'm just like, that's not necessary. And if you are gonna do it, someone say it's not okay. You know, there's a full season where nobody's like, or maybe Blanca does, you know, in a moment, like, Electra, cool off, you know, because they're both Electra's kids. But in general, I feel like everyone just stands there when it happens, and then it stops happening, and like the party starts again, you know, and I'm just like, that's not okay. You know, that is not okay. If you are in a room where someone, even if it's like dark skin to dark skin, like that is not okay. You know, that's internalized racism, that's internalized anti-blackness, internalized hatred for ourselves. Like, this is not okay. So I just had to like say that amongst a brilliant show that excludes genderqueers, non-binary people. This is not okay, you know. So with that said, that's like season 1. I watched season 2 because, like I said, the show's brilliant. It's like the most trans people in front of the scene, behind the scene. It is like produced by, I believe, it's a white man. I don't know if he's like heterosexual or not, but he is like a cis white man, and you know, the cis pale man's going into the community, bringing us out of it, putting us in our roles to tell our stories. I do love that. I do love that. So I watched season 2, and literally, you know, still Electra and Pray Tell dragging Candy, like, you know, just blatantly like, you're no good, you know, you need to be okay with being at the bottom, which doesn't make sense, like, because they're both, Pray Tell and Electra are like valued in their community. And, you know, Electra has the fineries, she calls them, she's got fur coats, she has a sugar daddy, and so I feel like the acceptance of blackness, right, you have to either have wealth like Electra or status like Pray Tell, right? He and his cis men friends, like they're all gay cis men, like kind of steward the ball scene of this community. And so he's got the status, Electra's got the money, and therefore I guess like blackness is rewarded, you know. Yeah. But then Candy, you know, she's like a daughter. She hasn't really made a name for herself other than being in the House of Abundance, which is like the most prestigious house, with Electra as the mother. So I know, I'm just like, it's okay to vent. This is just like a vent. And literally I had this dream twice, and it's just like, avenge Miss Candy. So I'm just like, from my own heart, you know, I'm watching this and I'm so sad, right? I'm just so sad that the two people that give her the most hate are the next darkest people in this production, in this community. You know, that's definitely about love and holding each other up and da-da-da-da-da. You know, everyone comes to Miss Candy when they're in a pickle. You know, they definitely know she knows how to scrounge up a solution. But it's like, why does she still have to scrounge up solutions? Like, why isn't she given, even when she helps people, you know, it's still like for the moment, like, you're great, and then it's back to like, back to the bottom with you. Yeah, which just makes me really sad. It just makes me really sad to watch it, to have, you know, very little commentary about this is not okay, this is problematic, this is reinforcing European blah, blah, blah that we need to dispel. What else is happening? So season 2, Candy dies. You know, she is murdered. And so season 2, Candy is around as like a spirit or a ghost, and everyone is like treating her with respect, explaining like, you know, I have internalized racism, that's why I was mad at you, because you love yourself, you know. And I'm just like, really? This is how she gets, you know, love and support, is like by being dead and then like having to come back as a ghost. And I just don't know. So that's why I'm boycotting season 3. I might watch in season 4, but, you know, I just need to be like, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. So for me to be okay, I need to remove myself from that community for a little bit. I think the other thing that isn't, you know, I know this is like the tale of 40 years ago, So you're like reliving a story. But I thought it would be nice if there was more talking about how, as much as like these trans and gay people and genderqueer, even though they're not there, intersex people are cast out of their biological homes, out of their communities, to form this new community, right? So Eurocentric like ideals have like cast them out. Sorry about that. Have cast them out. They reform this community that's like built on European standards of beauty and idealisms. And I feel like that's not talked about enough. You know, even though the ones on top of this world are Pray Tell and Electra, who both have dark skin, close proximity to blackness, it's not really talked about, right? The face category, you know, like just what is beauty? I feel like it's not like a wide nose, you know, a gap in your teeth. Like it's European standards of beauty. You know, it's not like full afros, you know, it's like slick back your hair, put on your high heels, very Eurocentric ideas of feminism, which I thought could have just, you know, there could have been a character who's like, or just even the ableism of balls, like it's called walking the category. Blanca, I think I'm saying the character's names right. Blanca gets sick and has to be in a wheelchair for a little bit, and like her returning to the ballroom and getting out of her wheelchair is like, you know, one of the best moments for the community. And I'm like, why can't you just, you know, do a category in a wheelchair? Why can't that be okay? I think one of the characters is on like crutches for a week and they have to like take the week off, you know, like you can't be in the face of the public on your crutches. So there's a few things like that that I would have liked, because I think that's where I'm like, okay, but we're telling the story in 2020. Can we add some like liberation for all? Even have a character, you know, I felt like there's some periphery, like I think I saw that wheelchair person, like a different person in a wheelchair just like off to the side, you know, nobody talks to them or acknowledges them, or like you can still be but like you have things to contribute to this community. So there's just a few things like that, and I feel it's so important to praise the show. I want to like go watch all the reviews, because a lot of people, you know, have reviewed, have uplifted the positives, and that is so important because there are so many of those. But I thought it was also important to take a moment to show where the production lacks, and that we are all like elevating and becoming more. And right, I want to be able to watch the show because it's like the community I live in, and it's like an attempt to uplift the community I live in. And for that to happen, we need to, in our own communities, in our like circles, we need to say when it's not okay, right? It's not just like the man out there, the Europeans, right? Like we participate and it's not okay. So yay, thanks for watching my first like critique. We're actually going to do a few more of these. Our board member Richie, who's usually behind the scenes doing all of our tech and our video editing and video work, I want to help them get some confidence to start making tech videos for the world. So we're going to do a few critiques together, and a video about me being spiritually pregnant with Daryl. I think it's 14 weeks. So we'll catch you real soon. And as always, we value you.